today I was in Kenyatta National Hospital to visit Boniface, that boy who was shot dead, quite unnecessarily, you know. And you know, I was talking to the father, Jonathan Kariuki is the father, and he was just trying to describe to me how it was. Like, this is somebody who is selling masks. He's 22 years old, the young man, like my son, yeah. And I was talking to the father telling me he is also a hawker. The father is also a hawker. So he knows those streets. So he was describing to me that this guy, he stood up, waved his mask he lifted his hands, waved his mask to the police, where they can see he's selling the mask. And this cops just, you know, opened fire at very close range, you know. I visited that boy in hospital today, and, you know, it's sad, a very sad moment. And I know from the other end also needs to be listened to, but there cannot be premise for some of the things. So much as I'm within government, contrary to what many people say, we still have room to have divergent opinion. And I have a divergent opinion as far as, you know, the abductions, the judicial killings and all that. You know, it's not a homogeneous school of thought simply because we're in government. We are quite heterogeneous. And for me, two issues that I'm not happy with. One is this whole human rights, civil rights, you know, arena. And you know, I come from that background. I come from an activist background with the Mutungas of this world and all that. As a 19-year-old, forget about this 22-year-old, 19-year-old, I was on the street during Sabasaba as a 19-year-old. So it's a territory I know too well. And it worries me when I see us crossing some lines there. And of course, the other one that I'm not happy with is this whole issue of pending bills. You know, the way we are not paying people. People are committing suicide. People are getting some, you know, hypertension and all those kind of diseases. People who are normal. Because, you know, again, I wish, because we are here within the era of very limited fiscal space, and I know we continue to borrow to balance our books, I am of the strong view that we should even borrow to pay the pending bills, because if we borrow for other things, we should borrow even to pay these fellas who are just doing their normal job to work and supply goods and services to government. And you know, when you don't pay that guy has got a driver. The driver has a housemaid. Can you imagine the trickle down of this 600, 700 billion that we owe people? And that's why we have got all this cry, you know, all over the country. So these are two issues really that really I hope that we are going to find some way of managing as we move forward. Let's come back to Wednesday. And you saw this past week the presence of goons in the demonstrations. Another worrying thing. Exactly. Another worrying thing. Correct. Know? And you know, again, I think it was when somebody was at some church in Mweki, and goons went to a church, and I think I called it out publicly. This use of goons sounds sweet. You know, you feel like you are on top of the world, but it will catch up with you. The same goons will catch up with you. So I don't think this is something that should be encouraged. And I've seen it now. Now it is being liberalized. There's another leader who is working with 10 Nissans of goons, armed ones. Armed goons, 10. He's an opposition guy, not a government guy. Yeah? 10 Nissans full of armed guns. Let me ask you, so where they are going, do you think they are going for a picnic? Yeah? And the other guy now, you know, it's a free market for, you know, because that's been liberalized. So those goons will meet with the other goons, and then what? And then spectacularly, it is a Nairobi and Mount Kenya region affair. I have not seen goons in some place called Khayaga Market in Kakamega. Yeah? I've not seen. How come it is just here, where we are now, my friend? If it's not in Nairobi here, like in Mwiki, it is, you know, in some place, in Muranga, in Meru, in whatever. So I decry, because I never imagined I would live to see a situation whereby my own people, my own community, this side has goons, the other side has goons. Then what? You know, it's quite worrying. When you see the people like Kamket MP calling out, you know, making really, really disturbing statements, again, very worrying. Absolutely. And as a born-again person from that kind of politics I've done in the past, I wonder now, do people know where this can end up? You know, Rwanda did not wake up one day and woke up to genocide. It is a build-up of things. Yeah, it's built up of those things like what my good friend Kamket would say. So I did sometimes it's easy to be desperate, to despair. I would only wish that people really understand that, you know, to get into the abyss is so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And when we get into the abyss, my friend, it doesn't matter who is the president of Kenya. It doesn't matter whether it is 1 term or 2 term. It will not matter. Yeah? I do believe, Jeff, you know me, I have a constituency. The business people, my community is an enterprising community. That is my constituency. You know, I have a constituency on, like, for example, people from my community who work in government. You know, sometimes I have to be very careful not to bring my own personal emotions into my life in government, because I know I am in a privileged position where all those people are looking up to me. The business people are looking up to me. Parents who, all they want is to go and some peace so that children can go to school and come back in the evening. There are so many people who don't care about the things we are yapping about to go. I don't know who is president. Here is an overwhelming majority of Kenyans just want to go about their normal life. Wanasema whether it is Jeff or Moses Kuria, sikuri kwake. Yeah? So I really feel I exist for those people. People who just want to live a normal life. People who didn't care about this one and that one. And those are the people for whom I really crave that we can have some situation of peace and stability. So that people can just be, we can have, because we have a good country. We have a good country. Other people come here and it becomes an envy. Yeah. You know, for me, I cannot pretend I travel around the world. And I do know, without a fear of contradiction, we have got a wonderful, good country, which we know we should be very, you know, envious and jealous regard our country. You know, sometimes you admire Americans. Now they are attacking Iran. Democrat, Republican, one direction. Yes. Yeah, whereby there must be some things where, and I've said this again, I've said this to you many times, there must be some set of things which we agree on, whether you are a government or you are opposition, whether you are from this community or that community. There must be some minimum set of things. Surely we can't just agree about everything. So when it comes to issues of having a country, just a country, a working country is a bonus. Let's have a country first. Yeah. Liberalized. Yeah. There's another leader who is working with 10 Nissans of goons, armed ones, armed goons, 10. He's an opposition guy, not a government guy. Yeah? 10 Nissans full of armed guns. Let me ask you, so where they are going, do you think they are going for a picnic? Yeah? And the other guy now, you know, it's a free market for, you know, because that's been liberalized. Yeah. So those goons will meet with the other goons, and then what? And then spectacularly, it is a Nairobi and Mount Kenya region affair. Yeah. I have not